Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Gemma and Rach Let's Chat podcast. This week we're going to give you some quick fire tips to help you get through the summer holidays. We know that there is panic in the air. The kids have finished or are just finishing now, and we want to make sure that you have everything you need to go into the next 6 weeks with a plan, feeling in control and ready to not just write it off, because before we know it, you'll be standing at those school gates in September panicking because it's Christmas in a few months. So let's all make a plan, take a deep breath, and if you're ready, pop in your headphones, link up the Bluetooth, grab a brew, because you're going to need one, and let's chat. So Gem, it is the 6 week summer holidays. How are you feeling? Obviously you've got the two little ones that are off now.
Yep. Well, Finney's off. He finished on Friday, so he was a bit earlier than Beth. She's still at school today, so today is her last day. They're not doing any work though. She's told me last week they were like clearing out their drawers and collecting all their books and playing games. And then this week they're having a water fight today. So
Nice.
Actually thinking about it, I should have gone on holiday last week when it was cheaper because they weren't actually doing anything. But anyway, it's fine. She's breaking up today. Yeah, I feel all right. I'm just trying to calm my slimmers down because they are panicking a little bit.
There is a lot of panic in the air. And I think as mums, we get it, albeit I've not had to face a 6 week summer holiday yet. Poppy is still in private nursery until the end of the month before she goes to school.
But it changes your whole world because 6 weeks is such a long time. It really is a long time and so out of routine.
And it's a lot to juggle, isn't it? If you've got work and you've got other commitments, for a portion of parents out there, yes, the 6 weeks holidays are less stressful than for others because maybe they're not juggling a job or having to source childcare. But for a lot of my clients, I know that is the juggle. And then it's how on earth do I stay motivated, or how on earth do I keep in control of my emotional eating when I have got so much stress around me? And this ain't your first 6 week summer holidays as a consultant. You've been doing this a very long time. So is there a common fear, worry, topic of conversation that's coming up with your clients where you're this is one of the main issues that people kind of face, or maybe it isn't an issue but people think it's going to be an issue?
I think most people are just scared that they're going to be out of routine or on holiday, for instance. So a lot of my clients are going on holiday. So we talk about, we've done this on an episode before, but we talk about creating healthier holiday habits going forward. You don't have to be on plan on holiday, but actually you will need to make changes to your lifestyle long term to see benefits. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cough, so apologies if I keep coughing.
It's all right. Someone had a boozy weekend, didn't they?
Awful. My body is punishing me big time. Don't drink, kids. It's not clever.
Don't turn to that over the 6 week summer holidays. It won't help.
Honestly, it won't help at all. But I think creating a new routine, choosing maybe a step that's more sustainable for you. You don't have to be on 1B if you don't want to be. A lot of my clients are doing a 6 week challenge. So our challenge started yesterday and it takes them right through to the beginning of September when potentially the kids go back to school. 99% of my clients are mums, the same sort of age as me, with the same sort of, I suppose we attract clients that are like us. So
that is similar
they're
to
going
us,
through the same. Yeah, so they're doing the 6 week challenge now, which is a visual challenge. So it's not about weight loss. It's all about...
that's what we're doing. Ours is starting today. Selfishly, because Poppy's first day of school is the Tuesday.
Yeah, but that's
and I think
okay.
I think more than anything, I needed a distraction for the next
do you know what?
7 weeks.
That's why we do it though as consultants, don't we? We need that commitment. We need that accountability. And it's nice to be in a challenge like that. So it's not, like I say, it's not about weight loss. It's just being able to tick off a tracker, having that accountability, having that support from the group, because they're all in a separate group chat now. They've all sent me their 360 turning videos of the start of the challenge. This is actually our third challenge. So they've been back to back. So a lot of my clients have got now 12 week results, which are looking amazing. So it's just really good to focus on that visual side of it and actually taking the pressure off a little bit of having to stick to plan necessarily 100%, but finding a step that's going to suit you at that point in your life, which is obviously at the moment very different for most people. So a lot of my clients are doing higher steps.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think when you've got something like the 6 weeks holidays coming up, realistically, we talked about this as well, about the perfect time for plan when I've got a clear streak, and it never happens. It will never, ever, ever, ever happen because
life gets in the way, doesn't it?
Exactly. And you could be sitting there now thinking, right, I will start again in September when the kids go back to school and the routine comes back in, blah, 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 blah. Brilliant. However, that's not realistic and it's not going to happen, let's be honest, because you will get to September, they'll go back to school, then you'll have the stress of having a new routine to the routine you've had for 6 weeks that you have to get back in the swing of. You'll have the chaos of trying to get kids back to sports clubs or, clubs after school and things like that around work and all the rest of it. So that's going to take a little bit to bed in. So then you'll go, okay, after the October half term, because let's just get this first half term out the way, then I'll have October half term. But then what happens is it's Halloween a few weeks later, and then it's November and it's the run up to Christmas, and we're all stressing and panicking because we don't want to feel frumpy or not good in the Christmas party dress or whatever it is. And then it's December, so you're going to write December off. And then it's January. There's my fresh start. I've got a nice block now. Everyone's going to be on plan. It's going to be super easy to do. Going to do it in January. And then what will happen then is we get into February. Oh, it's Valentine's Day. Then we're going into March and bank holidays and April and Easter. And like we said before, Jem, there's never going to be this magical block of time. So we have to kind of accept life is busy. I cannot control everything as much as I may want to. I can't build in this perfect routine where my mind has nothing to think about other than weight loss. So I have to build in something that works with me in my life. Now, for some people, I was this person, just doing products is a blessing in those moments because you don't have to think about food.
Yeah, it means honestly, you can deal with everything else because you haven't got to worry about food.
Exactly. And I didn't mind, like, it never bothered me saying no to things, like, as in, like, I didn't feel awkward saying to someone I didn't want that burger at a barbecue, or I didn't want that ice cream on a day out or whatever. Like, it used to actually, like, proper pump me up to be like, I'm not having the ice cream. Yeah. I'm going to have my bar and I'm going to get a coffee from the coffee shop. Oh, sorry, 1 minute. I'm going to cough now.
Let's have one together.
Oh, God. I don't know where that came from. So, like, those things used to really positively push me forward. But people are going to be different. And for some people, that perceived deprivation is going to make this a whole lot worse for you. It's how you perceive what step you're doing. And this is why finding the right step, not just for your lifestyle, but for your personality as well. Like, figuring out, like, what type of person am I? Like, am I going to rebel against the step I'm doing? Or am I going to, for me, for example, if I'd done step 3 or step 4 when I started, I would have majorly have abused that step. Like, I would have had my 2 products and 600 calories of stuff I should not be using that on. Or, do you know what I mean? So you need to figure out what's going to work best for you and use that to kind of be this foundation and cornerstone for what your routine is. And don't wait for life to fit that. Get that to fit life.
That's it. And do you know what? I think a lot of people in that first consultation think that we're just going to go, right, you have to do 1B. You have to start on 1B because your BMI is this, and this. You know, there's a set plan. Or like a contract. There isn't. It is kind of talking to that person.
Contract.
But people, I've had that. Do I have to sign a contract? So I'm like, no, of course you don't.
Contract? No, no contract.
People get really scared that it's like a massive
What am I going to do? Like, you have a meal off plan, and I suddenly send like the diet bailiffs round to your house, and I'm like, right, do you remember this contract you signed?
But people panic, don't they? And I would say to them, look, we're going to have a chat. We're going to talk about you, your personality, your lifestyle, your goals, what you actually want to achieve. And a lot of people do, like you, want to take away the food noise completely, and that's okay. But the majority of my new clients don't. I think because of my page, because it's based around food and obviously life after dieting and calorie counting. And I think people want to try different things. And a lot of the time, I have said this before, a lot of my clients come to me after maybe trying the plan quite a few times before, and they want to try it differently this time. And there is so many options that people didn't know about. So yeah, I think it's getting the step right for that person and making a plan. I think the plan is key, and that's why the 6-week challenges work really well, because they've kind of got that plan set in stone. They've got that tracker to tick off. It gives them that accountability that they need. But I've also said to them, it doesn't matter if you have a couple of, they do all like emojis and stuff on their trackers. Some of them put sad face. I'm like, don't put a sad face. You went out and had a lovely time. It's not a sad thing. Yes, it's just you weren't on your step. It's a good thing. Or they'll, and they've even made really healthy choices as well, and they'll still put a sad face. But that's the beauty of teaching them that actually you can make healthy choices.
Like toxic diet mindset that we have to break. And do you know what? Talking about holidays, I have to talk about my slimmer this week, right? This is just the most beautiful, inspiring, beautiful, amazing thing ever. So, she came onto Plan with me. I'm sure she was similar to me in that she'd done this a couple of times before.
Mm.
And so she came onto Plan with me. She has smashed it out of the park. I won't say her name, but because I'll use her initial S. So if you're listening, S, you know this is me bigging you up.
She'd be like,
I know. And so she'd done amazing before she went away on Plan, doing 1B, and then she went on holiday. And obviously there was a little bit of worry about, going on holiday with after just doing 1B, not wanting to damage it or put weight on or all the rest of it. So we talked a lot about, us wanting to use this holiday as a real opportunity to bring in a positive relationship with food. And a lot like we spoke about on the holiday episode, if you go back and watch it, I think it's called Navigating Social Events, where we were talking about have those daily do's. So get your water in every day. If you're going out to a lovely restaurant in the evening, look forward to that meal, but perhaps make, slightly lighter options throughout the day. And I said to her, just send me pictures. If you want to send me pictures of everything you eat, I love food. So send me all your food
getting
pics.
Those pictures. They're like, really?
So
I'm like,
good.
yeah, send them.
Yeah, send them over. And she did the whole holiday. She sent every single thing over she ate. It was incredible. She's come back, Jem, from, I'm pretty sure, an all-inclusive holiday, lost a pound.
Yeah, I love that. Well done,
Lost
S.
a pound. Well done. Round of applause to S.
Oh, I've got that's amazing.
Because she didn't go into it with the mindset of I'm about to ruin everything. She did all the prep beforehand. We talked about it. We'd made a plan. She's been working from day one on her mindset and really trying to unpick some of those negative thought processes that a lot of us have when it comes to dieting. And we've talked so much about this in this series, especially like the all or nothing, off plan, on plan, all of that malarkey. And instead she went and instead of being on holiday thinking about what she was missing, although she didn't miss anything because her holiday looked incredible. The food she had was beautiful. You and me always say, don't we? Colourful plates, lots of colourful plates. And she did everything. And then to see her come back and,
I love that.
it's not the fact that she came back and lost a pound, right? That isn't why I'm so happy for her. But I think people that are listening to this are going to want to know, okay, then, well, what happened when she came back from holiday? If she had such a lovely time, she lost a pound because she stuck to what the plans were. She has changed fundamentally how she approaches holidays and her relationship with food.
And that pound loss just shows it's just a result that she hasn't done the all or nothing mentality that she's probably always done before. But she found moderation. Yeah.
Exactly. How incredible is that? And
I'm so happy.
We really pushed beforehand. We're going into this. We don't want perfection. We just want you to have a slightly different approach. And I think if she hadn't have been she's one of those amazing clients that has her call with you. She checks in with you all the time, and it gives you the ability to work with them.
It does.
I can't work with you and help you through those difficult bits if you don't message me or you don't have your calls. And that's where that's the difference, isn't it? Like having those check-ins. So if you've got if over the 6 weeks, maybe you can't commit every week, maybe you've got holidays, maybe you've got things like that, but try and book in some calls. Why are you making me sick virtually? What is going on?
Sorry, I keep hearing your little throat go. I think, oh no.
Oh God, I don't know what is going on here. So
you need a vanilla shake.
I've got one here. It's in my thing, vanilla and coffee. I just haven't got it in the shaker. But if you can, try and have those check-in points, and even if it's just messaging them or messaging in the group chat. We're like you, Jen. We got a 6-week challenge. Like I said, starting today, they've got a separate group, and use those communities that you're building because most of those people within those communities online are in your position. We've got kids. We're going into this now. We've got a lot in our diaries, and you need to make sure that you are surrounded by people who understand rather than just have the only voices you're hearing and maybe those around you that are like, let's just get this, let's just do that, let's go and have this. So
you need that group support. And I always say to my clients, it's free extra support. Use it. It's there for everyone. Just use it. Not even the 6-week challenge support, just the community on Instagram.
Online.
It's huge.
It's massive. You've got what are we now? I think we're over 30 episodes on this podcast. Don't get me wrong, some of them back in the ether might be difficult to listen to because of the quality.
I can't listen to them.
But we've got the podcast, you've got people on YouTube, you've got Instagram, people are
Yeah.
doing lives, and so engage in that. Like, if you
Yeah.
engage in it, there will be tips and tricks you pick up here and there that you
I was
can
going to
then be
say,
like,
everything you watch, you're going to learn from, aren't you? And there's so much to
yeah,
watch. Not just what your consultant's got to say, actually, everyone else as well. And me and you, I mean, we put out so much content. There is literally something for everybody. I've done every blog on every step, and we've done almost every subject on our podcast. And
yeah.
there is nothing, I don't think, yet. There's not much we haven't answered.
There's not much we haven't
There
covered. And don't
isn't.
get me wrong, like as time goes on, maybe we add more to what we
Yeah,
say. But like, I think, it's a good starting point. And then if there is
it
anything we
is.
haven't covered, then leave it in the comments and we'll make a video on it. Like,
Yeah,
so, but using that community, I think, is really important. And also, it gives you an extra layer of accountability. You don't need to be blogging, you don't need to be putting out like content, but if you're at least engaging within that group chat, within that community, you are going to feel a sense of accountability to that group of people that you are,
yeah,
doing this alongside,
yeah,
because it is like it is like a group effort. Like, yes, you're on your own, but like I always felt like, because I was on Instagram, I was like, but it is, I want to do it for these people as
yeah,
well. Like, I want
yeah.
to show up
I
and do well and not
That's why
let
I
it derail
use
me.
yeah, that's why I use Instagram now as my accountability. You know, I've always chosen to use that because I don't feel like I can still text Debbie 11 years on, like, this is what I've eaten today. So I just put it out as what I eat in a day, and hopefully it will help other people. But a lot of my clients though, we've said this before, they don't want to be somebody that blogs online. And I totally understand that. It's scary. It's intimidating. Nobody really wants to do it. But actually just having that account, even if it's just the one-to-one diet or a picture of a shake as your profile, you don't need to be on it. You don't need to post yourself. But actually having an account where you can interact with other people, maybe post your losses each week or post what you're having and the step you're on, again, that
Mhm.
inspires somebody else. And before you know it, you've built your own little community. And it's just, until you try it, I don't think you realize how powerful it is. And I
Yeah.
can't say anyone I've ever had that's created a page like that, a completely private page, they've never regretted it. It's always something that becomes a positive, I think.
Oh, I completely agree. I think that there's so much to be gained from doing
Mm,
it, and if you're not doing it, why? Like,
yeah, try it.
why are you not, like, if you're working on yourself at the moment and you are going into the next 6 weeks that could be a little bit chaotic, why are you not creating a place where you can go and
Mm,
be and like feel seen and heard and understood and be
mm,
able to speak with other people that are also going through the same thing, instead of like just scrolling on TikTok watching whatever. Like, it's so funny because I found that actually probably doing social media, watching lives, it was your Q&As in lockdown. I love them. I watch them all the time.
I
Like,
remember
just,
you were always like, hi, Jem. I was like,
hi
hey,
Jen,
that
hi
was on a
Jen.
Friday. Do you remember that in the office?
Yeah, be like, can I be your bedtime, please? See, I'm really a stalker.
Oh,
That's all
God,
this
I
is.
wish
Like,
I'd known
just,
you like before that. I didn't have a clue you were watching all that time.
there I
That's the
was.
craziness of it though, isn't it?
I know, but those were really, like, just hearing those things, I think actually
Mm,
is what helped me work on my mindset the most, because it wasn't
hmm.
like sitting down in a room with like a therapist and having to deep dive and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
that I didn't want that. But actually, every live I watched, every podcast I listened to, there would be a little takeaway that I could
Hmm.
take, and I'd think about it and I'd be like, I do that. And they said that they tried this. So maybe I'll try this and I'll see if this helps. And, it's not this. I think when we talk about like mindset and working on things like that, like, there's not this massive structure that we can give you to follow. It's not like a
No.
step by step, do this 10 steps and then your relationship with food, your body and everything's fixed, because ours ain't fixed. Like, we're still you're watching this live happen. Like, we're still working through that. We're
Yeah.
forever growing and learning. But I think having every day just that drip feed of like, people's inspiring stories, people's
Mm,
advice, things like that, seeing that people still struggled, like in maintenance, and
yeah.
people, it wasn't this like, happy ever after, it was real life. And I think all of
Hmm.
those things really help keep you grounded and help you work through your own journey with yourself and what you're doing alongside the plan. Because I don't know, I'm just such a believer that there's going to be a very, very small proportion of people out there that can just have products, lose weight, and go off into the sunset.
Mm,
I do think for the majority of my clients anyway, they have got a lot of baggage when it comes to their past with food and dieting that
yeah.
we want to break through and work through. But you have to be engaged in that to do it. And just because it's the 6 weeks holidays doesn't mean that you can't still give yourself that time every day.
Yeah.
Like, you can put a podcast on, look on Instagram for a little bit. I think people think it's got to be this really big dedicated thing, and
Like
it's like,
structured, I've
no,
got to listen to a podcast.
yeah,
Because I feel like that when people say, oh, you should listen to this podcast and listen to that. I think, oh, I've got no time for that. But actually you have, because me and Serica said this at the weekend, doom scrolling is evil. You could just sit
oh,
and
I hate
scroll on
it.
TikTok and Reels and for hours. People ignore their kids for hours. Do you know what I mean? Doom scrolling. So actually, why not? You set up the kids doing whatever they're doing and just listen to a 20-minute podcast, half an hour podcast. Give yourself some time. I said this to Serica, you need to be at the top of your priority list. You really do, because especially as a mum in the summer holidays, you're doing everything for everybody else. You deserve that time as well. 100%.
1,000,000%. And also, like podcasts, the one reason we started a podcast, right, was because we wanted to be time efficient for all you busy mums and parents out
Yeah.
there. Because, like, for me, I have never put a podcast on and just listened to a podcast. Maybe it's my ADHD, I don't know. But I like the podcast will be on when I'm putting the washing on the line, or cleaning the kitchen, or cleaning like the
Your
house,
gym.
or
That's what Jim does
yeah.
every day. I'm like,
I
turn that
have
off.
I'm bad. I always have something on instead of maybe listening to. Obviously, I like the radio. I'll have my absolute country on. I do love a bit of country
I love
music, but
that.
I love country music. But then I will then just pop a podcast out on for a bit. Like when I was cleaning the walls the other day. If you haven't seen my Instagram, I am now Mrs. Hinch. Albeit I have now got cleaners in. So thank you, girls, for coming in once a week to
You
help
can't do
me.
it all, Rach. You can't do it all.
Don't. But I listened to like 2 episodes of A Diary of a CEO just while I was cleaning the walls, and the time goes so quickly. Now I could have had music on, yes, I could have, but I then, after cleaning the walls and listening, I was listening to the Grace Beverley one, really, really good. Diary of a CEO, Grace Beverley, she's amazing. And the Simon Cowell one, oh
I
gosh,
listened
he
to
is
the
an
Simon
interesting
Cowell.
man.
Inni,
And
I did that while I was running, listening to him, and it made the
did
time go so
you?
quick. Yeah.
It does. Do you know what? I think if it hadn't been for that, I wouldn't have got through cleaning the walls,
Yeah.
because it was soul destroying. I didn't think it was a big job. And then I was like, oh, dear Lord, it's a huge job. But like, and then you can take little bits away from it, like there's bits that like Grace on her episode. And then like, she's talked about that being time efficient and things. And I thought I'm not. Like when it comes to planning my work day. So now this week I've started time blocking again. It was something I used to do in my old corporate job every day. And then for some reason I became self-employed, and I've become so chaotic, as you all know, Jem, that things get done.
We're not going to talk about that.
They get done. They don't get done chaotically. Whereas now I'm like, right, I'm going to, and I did it yesterday properly for the first time. It was so like my day
But
just
that's
seemed
amazing.
so much
From
better.
one podcast. Like, well done. That's
See,
good.
like, one podcast, and was it perfect? No, I still ran over my day by an hour, but don't worry about that.
That's
but
fine.
it's
Progress, not perfection.
Thank you. And it's something now that I can take going forward to be like, right, this is something. And do you know what? This is where this little non-diet tip actually helped with my eating. So we all know that I'm on a mission to eat 3 meals a day and stop being a squirrel and snacking. And so yesterday I blocked out time to go and make like lunch, and I blocked out time to have my breakfast, because otherwise I don't, because there's always something I can do, right? There's always a message I can reply to, or something I can edit, and so I don't, and that's where I can then start picking. So again, you could listen to podcasts that aren't even related to what you're doing with your health journey, but find things that complement and help with that. Maybe you are feeling really overwhelmed and really stressed because the house is manic at the minute with the kids at home. Everywhere looks like a bomb's gone off.
That's me.
Well, to be fair, mine looks all right now. But 2 weeks ago, my house looked like an absolute state. So then what you can do is think, okay, let me try and work through this. So one recommendation to everyone, if you are someone like me, frazzled 2 weeks ago, house is mental. And when I say my house is a state, I've had 2 skips. 2 skips,
I know,
to throw stuff out.
I need to do that.
It's the best thing ever. It was my dad's favourite pastime when we were kids, to get a skip and just check everything out.
You telling me that. But you do it like once a year, don't you? I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
I need to do it, because we accumulate a lot of crap.
I'm not sentimental, to be honest, like
I said this
particularly.
to Jim this morning. This is awful. I shouldn't say it, but our anniversary, there's like different things for each anniversary, like steel, copper.
Oh,
Jim buys
yeah,
me something sentimental every year from that metal or whatever.
that's nice.
And I was like, but the house is getting finished. And he was like, oh my God, that's awful. I was like, I'm not sentimental, Jim. I'm just not. Like, it's a waste. I
No.
just feel like it's just clutter that we don't need, but I can't chuck it because it was obviously a gift.
Well, this is like, for me, the only things I'm sentimental on really would probably be like my jewelry, which I wear every day anyway.
Yeah.
I've got like my mum's wedding and engagement ring,
Mm.
and that was it. Like, even when I was cleaning the house out, right, I was going through and I opened, Poppy's got like a toy box in her room. It didn't have any
Mm.
toys in it. And I knew that what it had in it was I thought what it had in it was just a couple of baby grows and
Yeah.
the old like pillows from the first car
Yeah.
seat we had that I haven't chucked
Yeah.
out. This is what I mean. These are the things that were still in my house. A car seat that I had 4 years ago, I still had
Yeah.
the newborn insert for. I haven't even got the car seat anymore. It's gone. We gave it to a friend. So I opened it up and it was like loads and loads of her like baby grows from when she was a baby. And maybe this shows a lot about me as a mother. I don't know. But I was like, oh, this needs to go. And my friend was like, what? You could make a blanket out of them. I was like, I know. I've been planning to make a blanket out of them for 4 years and I haven't done it. So if I haven't done it 4 years
Yeah.
later.
Yeah. And I'm like that. And then you see things on Instagram, like people making blankets and things out. And I think, no, that's just not me. It's not. And I don't want to feel guilty for not
I'm
doing
not going to
that.
make a I'm not going to
No,
make a
I'm not going
blanket.
to
Like,
make a
I'm not going to
blanket.
do it, but I
I
might
couldn't even
pay.
iron on Bethany's bloody brownie badges. My auntie's sewn them on for me.
I don't iron, so you're even better than me.
I don't iron. Oh dear.
But one of the things that I used to help me clean is
Mm.
the organised mum method. So
Yes, I've seen that.
Team Tom, I followed her from like back in the 2016 or 2017 height of cleaning Instagram, whenever that was. And she has got like a messy house blitz thing. I don't know what it's called. I'll find the link. I'll put it in the show notes and in the YouTube. And it gives you a room by room that you can do to get on top of your house. So it's not all meant to be done in one day. Like I said, mine took over like 2 weeks to get everything done. And today's like, it's done. Let's celebrate. Yay.
Oh,
Cheers.
how good do you feel though? I bet it's like a weight's been lifted.
It is, and my brain can think more clearly. I feel like it's helped me bring back that creative side of my brain. Like I'm enjoying making content again, and because I think my brain was just so cluttered, like my house was.
Yeah.
But the organized man method is like it's like a room a day, deep cleaning. Like you take in a room, you are getting it clean, but it's not overwhelming. It's not so overwhelming because it is just like a room at a time. And then what she has, which I kind of just done anyway, because I did it for so many years. This is how I tackle my house cleaning now. But she has then like a daily and a weekly to-do list. So like every day there's like 5 things that you do in your house. And then once a week you do a particular like little mini deep clean of a room. It just helps you keep on top of it. And I think like that, it's things like that over the 6 weeks holiday is it stresses you out. And
Yeah,
so
it is.
It's looking at what are these other things that I can do to help bring some calm and peace to my day so that I'm not being emotionally driven to food, or I'm not picking those bad options. Like people think it's, oh, but I've got a holiday or I've got days out. No, those aren't the things that are going to impact you. We've spoke at length about the fact that those things don't matter. It's finding the other things that are stressing you out that is leading you to turn to food. So if we can give you one big bit of advice from this episode, get a plan, make your plan, speak to your consultant, get that support network in place, use the community, look at other areas in your life that are actually causing you stress and see how can I make those less stressful, and just take it a day at a time, because let's be honest, kids at home, we're all sometimes we're going to be surviving, not thriving, but you know what,
100%.
we will get through it. And at least if you do that, you can go into September feeling like you've had a bit of control, and you're not repeating this cycle of panic, I'll start it again then, not starting it again then, feeling frustrated. So I hope that has helped. This felt like quite a chilled mum chat like
I
vibe.
liked it. It was nice, yeah, really nice.
I liked
It's
it.
always nice chatting to you though, Rach.
I know. You have picked me up after my manic morning, so thank
Good.
you. But like I said, I'm going to leave some resources in the show notes so you can go and read them and use them, things like the organisement method and some other bits and bobs. Please check out our previous episodes, because I think there's a lot of resources in there that we discussed that could be really useful for you. There's so many episodes. Maybe you listen to 2 episodes a week over the summer holidays. Maybe that's your holiday homework, like, is to do that, and just use it as a way in which you can help yourself stay in control, but don't use it as a way to set an expectation that you can't reach. Progress over perfection, always. But that is going to be it for this episode. Please do remember to like, comment, share. Let us know what you'd like us to cover in future episodes. Like Jen mentioned, we spoke about a lot. Like, what else do you want to hear us talk about? And we, of course, will be back next week with another episode to see you through this 6-week summer holidays. We've got this. We have got this, Jam.
We have.
But until next time, it is bye from me.
And bye from me.
And we will see you all again really soon.